Hello, it's Reija and welcome to another video. Today I will be sharing with you all the books I'm going to be reading in April because I am going to be participating in the Magical Readathon Ordinary Wizarding Levels of 2019, which is going to be happening all throughout April. The Magical Readathon is hosted by the Book Roast, and I will leave her announcement video down in the description as well as the link to the Magical Readathon Twitter. So without further ado, let's get started. So the Magical Readathon is a pretty elaborately planned event. You can choose a wizarding career, and that career will then determine what prompts you will have to complete to successfully finish the readathon. And I chose the Metal Charmer, which is basically kind of like my real life career. It's basically all about logic and determination and ambition and rational thinking. And also you need to be good at spells and kind of problem solving. So I thought that it would be a very good magical alternative to what I'm actually doing, which is ICT infrastructure. So that's why I chose Metal Charmer. And I have to complete 7 of the prompts, and then I also picked up 2 extra so I can get an outstanding because I am an overachiever like that. So the first prompt that I need to complete is Ancient Runes, which is to read a retelling. And for that, I decided to go with this anthology. This is called 100 vuoden unet, or 100 Year Sleep. And this is basically fairy tales for adults. And it is an anthology full of retellings of classical fairy tales. And there's a bunch of Finnish SFF authors in this, including Johanna Sinisalo, who is one of the most well-known Finnish SFF writers. And I've been meaning to read this for a long while. This has been sitting on my shelf for like 2 years. And I think that I'm going to try and read 1 story per day. The next prompt is arithmancy, and for that I need to read a book that is co-authored by 2 or more writers. And for that I am going to read The Promised Neverland Volume 8. And this is written by Kaiju Shirai, and the art is by Posuka Demisu. And yes, I am counting this as written by 2 authors because you need to credit artists and the amount of work that they put in to actually tell the graphic story, because the artist is responsible for the layout, the atmosphere, and basically the vision of how the story will look. So yeah, I am very excited for this. I have been saving this for this readathon, and my partner already read it and said that they enjoyed it a lot. So I might read this the first day the O.W.L.s are happening, because I'm so excited for this. The next prompt is charms, and for that I need to read an adult work. And I've chosen Captive Prince by C.S. Pacat. I have the whole trilogy. I have not yet read any one of them, and I want to start. This is a trilogy that kind of has mixed opinions. People either really love it or they despise it. And I actually can't wait, because I've been hearing some really good things about it, especially from Adriana from Perpetual Pages. They seem to really like this trilogy, so I'm really excited to finally be dipping my toes in this. And this is about prince who finds himself in a situation where he's taken hostage into an enemy kingdom, and then he is put into slavery. And it is about his experience and how he deals with the situation and how he can't let the enemy know that he is in fact royalty. And yeah, I am really looking forward to this. It's quite short, which is kind of a theme here. I'm trying to make this as easy for myself as possible while also tackling a lot of the books that have been sitting on my shelves. The next prompt is Defense Against the Dark Arts, which is to read a book that starts with the letter R. And I am going to be reading Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. This is the second book in the Farseer trilogy, and I actually started this last year, I think, but I didn't get very far, so I probably will need to restart it. And this is a huge priority for this readathon because I really need to finish this and get on with the Realm of the Elderling series. I really liked the Assassin's Apprentice, and from what I read from this last year, I really liked this one also. But then I just stopped for some reason. Like I don't get it. Why did I do that? But I'm really looking forward to reading this during April. Then for Transfiguration, I need to read a book that is either red on the cover or has sprayed edges. And I am going to be reading Wundersmith by Jessica Townsend. This is the sequel to Nevermore, and I really liked Nevermore. I thought it was really fun, and even though it has a lot of similar elements to Harry Potter, I still feel like it was its own unique thing. And I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And this one is also nominated in the middle grade category in the BookTube SFF Awards, so this will also work for that. And it's middle grade, so I should be getting through this fairly quickly. Then for Potions, the prompt is to read a sequel, and I am going to be reading Wotakoi Volume 2 by Fujita. This is a manga series about a bunch of 30-something corporate employees who are also major nerds, so obviously I am very into that topic and it is very relatable to me, and it is all about their relationship struggles while also maintaining their hobbies and such, and the first volume was a bunch of fun, so really looking forward to continuing on with the series. Then for Herbology, the prompt is to read a book with a plant on the cover, and my pick is Aquicon Cove by Katie O'Neill. This is very short. It has a bunch of like seaweedy things on the cover, which are plants. And this just looks like so much fun. It looks like it will be a very whimsical read. I really enjoy Katie O'Neill's style, and this is also nominated in the graphic novel category in the BookTube SFF Awards, so I'm trying to cover all my bases here. And it looks to be a very quick and enjoyable and short read. Then for History of Magic, the prompt is to read a work that was published more than 10 years ago, and for this I am going to be rereading Pawn of Prophecy by David Eddings. I am buddy reading this with Andrea from Infinite Text, and this is basically the book series that got me into fantasy in the first place. It is basically your standard chosen one narrative with this boy called Garion who is raised by her Aunt Paul in a farm, and then he comes to realize through certain events that he is not the boy that he thinks he is. He's not your standard farm boy, and he has a manifest destiny that's much bigger than he realizes. But yeah, this is the first time that I'm going to be reading this series in English. I've read this multiple times in Finnish and also one time in Swedish, funnily enough. But yeah, looking forward to seeing how my nostalgia holds up, because I'm kind of torn with David Eddings. Like I have this weird feeling of love for what he did to me personally. Like he like was the author that established my love of fantasy, so I have a huge amount of nostalgia for him thanks to that. But at the same time, I do know that there are plenty of things inside these books that do not hold up at all in like modern standards of you know, anything. So yeah, I am expecting a lot of not so subtle racism and Orientalism and stuff like that, but still looking forward to reading this and talking about this, especially talking about this with Andrea. And the final subject that I will try to tackle is divination, which is to read a book set in the future. And for that, I am going to be reading Autonomous by Annalee Nuits. This is set in the not so distant future where economies have kind of collapsed, the world order has kind of changed and shifted, and there are these big pharmaceutical companies that are making big bucks on people's healthcare. And the main character in this book is a person who is making a living by pirating said pharmaceutical products and selling them for cheap for people who need to have those drugs but can't afford the actual legal options. I've been really looking forward to reading this. This is another one of those cases that I got this for my birthday last year, but then didn't end up getting to it, so now is the time. And there you have it. Those are all the books that I am planning on reading in April during the Magical Readathon, and hopefully I will be getting an outstanding in my O.W.L.s. Tell me in the comments, are you planning on participating in the O.W.L.s this year? What are you going to be reading? What career choice have you decided to go with? Let me know in the comments and I will chat to you there. I will see you in another video very soon. Bye bye!